Right, welcome back to the Feel Weird podcast. We are back again. We've had a little, we've been off for like 2-3 weeks, haven't we?
It's been a couple, but we're back with a full house.
Been catching up.
We had a quiet one last time.
We've missed some mad shit, haven't we? The last time we were here, we were talking about the potential of a Tyler the Creator album.
Yeah, and then it came.
And the possible features. We were wrong on all of that. But still slaps. But we've got loads to catch up on.
We do.
We're hitting some mad pop culture news today, and then we're going to go into something else that we've briefly touched on before.
Yeah. If you're a fan of this podcast, you very much know that we touch on aliens, UAPs, and everything that comes under that world.
Yep.
And we'll be touching upon it again.
Yeah, motherfucker, we were right.
But until we get any further, Splinter is back in the house. Give us our question of the week, please.
We are indeed. I have it on the graphic here, but I'm not sure if you'll be able to.
I can read it from there.
Yeah, go on.
Question of the week. If you could ask one question to one person, what would you ask and who would you ask it to? That is a tongue twister.
Ever in history.
Say that 4 times rapid.
If you could ask one question to one person, what would you ask and who would you ask it to?
Oh, can't remember my lyrics. But I can do a tongue twister.
I fully expected to fall over during that. That's hard, that.
Ask one question to one person.
Hitler, what are you such a wanker for?
What a waste of a question that would be.
You're telling me you don't want to ask Hitler why he did it?
I know why he did it. We'll get into that conspiracies part 3.
You also won't be able to understand his answer, I don't think.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I can't speak
I don't know
German.
how hot his English was, if he spoke it at all. Probably a little scotch.
Yeah. Have you got one?
Nah.
I'm struggling there.
Splinter, have you got one? Because you thought about it. I'd love to hear yours if you got something.
I actually don't. Is that bad that I don't have one either?
Well, I bet you won't.
But a really thought-provoking question that no one can actually...
It's almost too
answer.
The thing is, if I'm asking one person, one question...
But that could be like your icon of question as well. That could be like
True,
someone
but the
you
thing
hate.
is,
like...
if it's my icon, don't know about Sam, I feel like I know him so well. I already know the answer they're going to give me. Do you know what I mean? They would say something, I go, cool, I thought that because I like you and I know what you're going to say.
I'd want like some absolute set in stone truth on like who killed MJ and who killed, I mean, ironically.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, we know now.
Not Michael Jordan, who's still alive.
Michael B. Jordan,
that's
Liam.
the thing though, all the ones that I'd want, you would think are conspiracy based, but I'm pretty solid on all the answers for them all.
What about go back to like a pharaoh and be like, come on, who built these
that's
fucking big
but
triangle
that's
things?
literally my answer for the last one.
It is, but it's because it's so compelling.
It's because it's a good one. So I'm asking Ramesses and saying, what happened with the pyramids then? I don't even know who he was about for the pyramids.
Cleopatra, what's your body count?
Yeah, hers is mad. Cleopatra was doing numbers.
Well, you could ask someone at like the Pentagon, like something on the lines of what conspiracy theory is the most accurate, or like what.
That's a fair one.
Or like what's.
I'll ask George W. Bush, give me in a full breakdown, 9/11, who, what, when, why. And
that's
and when he gives me the answer, I go, that's everything I already knew.
Yeah,
you wanted to go for oil, you made up a war, and made up weapons of mass destruction.
You've hit the nail on the head, because every question I want to ask, I pretty much know the answer. I just want like confirmation.
Yeah.
And
no, I've got one.
Go on.
Fine, I'll go J. Cole or Kendrick, Black Friday album that was promised in February. What happened? Why? And is it going to happen in the future? Give me that then.
But would you not be devastated if you've wasted your question on an answer where it's just no?
He goes, yeah, we didn't feel with it. We didn't like it.
Like it's never coming. You're going to hear it.
All right, cool. Nice meeting you.
Because you can say the same for the Kanye, Kendrick, Madlib, full album that's there that we're never going to hear. I saw someone saying on a TikTok the other day, they was like, yeah, I've heard it. It's sick. It just needs structuring, and neither of them are bothered enough. How can you not be bothered enough?
That question's pissed me off, Splinter, because I can't think of... The second we wrap, I go, I just thought of the most brilliant, thought-provoking question ever. And I can't think what it would be.
That's it for me. I think it's 9/11, it's pyramids.
Yeah, we're going that.
I honestly, Splinter, I wouldn't bother about asking anyone at the Pentagon, because the guy at the Pentagon pretty much dropped all the beans.
He did.
Recently, and we're going to get onto that.
Lou Elizondo.
Yeah.
But thank you, Splinter.
That might be my first miss, actually, as a question.
That wasn't a miss. It was a good question. It was just too hard.
You've not had any misses. No, respectfully, you've not. And I would tell you if you had a big fat swing and a miss.
No, that was a good question.
No, that was no miss. It was too thought-provoking.
Too good of a question, then.
We need one like Lil's one when it's, would you rather eat 10 jelly beans or fart twice?
Plus, me and Liam are way too autistic for an answer like that. I need 10 minutes to think about every possible person.
I'll cut Sam off in roughly 25 minutes and go, stop.
Yes.
Here's my answer, and you'll go, perfect, and we'll continue, because that's how we roll. My one is, I saw someone do a bracket for this, that did you know if there was a world bracket of fighting of 1v1s and you go up a tier to be world champion, you would only need 33 wins. Isn't that mad?
I think I saw something.
How far are you going in said bracket? Randomizer.
So wait, so you mean if everybody in the world
on the Earth
was partnered in twos, like fights of two?
No. Everyone on Earth is partnered 1-on-1 against someone. If you win, you go to the next round. You would only have to win 33 fights to be number one world champion.
Next question then, where are you getting?
I'm easily going, if I'm not doing them back to back and I got time to chill, I'm easily going, respectfully though, if you think about the average person, actually the average person on Earth is a 27-year-old Chinese man, believe it or not. That's the average human.
Him up big time.
100%.
I'll go with full Yoda
100%. I think I'm going at least 10. I have to believe.
I think you're being way too modest there.
You think so?
Yeah. Bro, what, are you
I'm just
6'2"?
thinking, just under. But I think if I'm
You're
100 kg,
than, like,
that's what I think. If I could go run through a couple of broke countries, I'm running through Sierra Leone. That's a wash. But also, I could get John Jones first round, and then I'm finished. Do you know what I mean? It could be game over. I could pull my nephew, who's a child. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know, I love it. We both looked at each other then and was like, for context, does anybody know his nephew's like 4 years old?
Yeah, I'm not saying my nephew, he's a boxer.
Yeah, the 25-year-old heavyweight.
But I think, respectively, if it's really random, I think I've got my chance. I'm taking 10 rounds. I think I'm going.
Surely the chances of you drawing in like a heavyweight MMA fighter are quite slim.
Well, okay, first round, Brian Shaw, who's 6'9", one of the strongest men on earth. It could happen. But I would like to think I'm at least going 10 rounds. I put my money on it.
It'd be like a World Cup though, where like if France go out in the group stages, then you're like, oh shit, I could win this.
But that's the thing.
Like, Tyson gets knocked out dead early.
But
Tyson
it's not
Fury.
football. We're fighting. I want France early. It doesn't matter because I just can't imagine getting beat by a French person. I just don't see
in a football sense, right?
Name me one famous French fighter or boxer.
Wow.
I rest my case. Continue.
Did you,
Sam, how far are you going?
I genuinely think you just took a chance on that and you were bang on because you Splinter anything. There's nothing there. There's no French fighters I can't think of anything. Not in the UFC. Finish and they'll be like, oh, what about Francois?
Yeah, there'll be some boxer in the comments who going, how should you forget about
Francois Bourgeois, isn't it the train guy?
Yeah, it is. Who's not even French. He's not even French. He's just an autistic guy who loves
trains. And I would
trains.
definitely want to take him in the early rounds.
100%. He's getting dusted. His knees are going left and right.
Yeah. Well,
inwards.
Just make a train noise and he'll collapse.
Yeah, that would do it.
Or come.
But the question on top of that is, would you rather get to the 33rd round and lose or go out in the first round?
I'd rather go as far as I can. I think because then on your CV, you go, in the 33 tier bracket, you made it to 27, they'll go, he's tough.
Yeah.
In a workplace conflict, he's tough.
In the UFC,
no, not to death.
CV after you've died.
Not to death. Otherwise, there'd just be one person left on earth.
Imagine just going back to work though after this.
Yeah, everyone just going, oh, what about you? And you go, oh, I had an old lady for the first 10 rounds. I got really lucky.
How'd you finish 18th?
Yeah.
Well, I was just smacking up bare grannies.
That's what I mean. It could happen. You never know.
I think so. Wait, what do you actually think then? Because you said 10. I don't think it's 10.
I think 10.
No, you don't.
No, but I have to be realistic.
Yeah, but just chances. I'm a 5'6", 26-year-old. I'm confident that I could get over 10.
If you think you can get over 10, fair.
I did a bit of kickboxing when I was 12.
I think you get to 20, Liam. I think
20?
You get 20.
Yeah. All right, give me 20. Thank you.
Like, man, healthy man. Now you're healthy.
No. This is not the episode. All right, fine. Give me 20 rounds. Give me 20 rounds.
If I hit 15, I'd be happy. If I could hit over halfway.
Over halfway. You know what? Halfway.
It's 16,
no,
16
but I think
and a half.
Give it a take. I think halfway would be a really good metric to go off.
Okay.
Unless I pull,
well, that was some good silly goofiness to get us going.
So it was a really good one that I wanted to get into first.
Absolutely.
But whatever you want to talk about.
Well, what we want to talk about. So let's get some pop culture news out of the way.
Go on.
What did you reckon
to
the Mike Tyson fight and Jake Paul?
You mean the theatre performance?
Yeah, the wrestling event that was a.
You mean the. Oh yeah, gotcha. When I do this, it means you slip, so I can give you a. It's silly. It's silly, and
I've
I didn't watch it on purpose.
I've seen more clips of him slipping fake punches.
Yeah, no, I watched the highlights the next day because I'm not staying up to watch.
No.
Phantom of the Opera, which is what I'm watching because they're both just dancers. They were dancers that night.
Yeah.
And you know what? Not even mad at Tyson. You're nearly 60. He's getting his heftiest purse of his career.
Absolutely.
There's no problem.
Yeah, I've got no complaints.
If you're a young guy in your prime doing stuff like that, fighting a guy who's twice your age.
Yeah.
It's madness.
I have been loving the memes of who Jake's going to fight next, of just all these granddads.
Well,
and shit.
the Britain's oldest man we spoke about died. He's dead now.
Oh, yeah. So
we made fun of. He's dead.
Oh,
Did you make fun of him?
Yeah, we did. We made fun of him.
Well, we didn't. We were reading out
on
the
holiday
comments
episode.
that people
We
were
did.
making fun of him.
There was loads of comments, and I had to read them out to Sam, and they were so funny because the top one was like, "Get this man his keys." Bro's ready for a career in US politics.
Yes.
There was
running for president.
Oh, there was loads of great ones. Loads of great ones. We just love a bit of age knocking banter.
So he's not fighting Jake next, then that's sad.
No, he's not. He missed his cut off for it.
Well, I can't believe the obsession with it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm a pretty good average in the sense that I like boxing, but I'm not a fanatic.
Same.
So I feel like I'm the perfect Joe Bloggs on the street for an event like that.
Yeah.
And Mike Tyson's one of my favourite athletes to ever walk the planet.
Yeah.
Not the best person. But as a fighter.
As a fighter?
Yeah. As a fighter,
Separate the man from the art.
Yeah, exactly. And it just it winds me up that people were annoyed at Mike because it's like, you think a 58-year-old man's going to turn down what is it, $40 million or something?
Yeah, 40 M's. Crazy.
Go for it, whatever.
Crazy.
And ironically got in the best shape of his life.
Yeah, he looks great.
Looked amazing.
Well,
and
it was
like I said,
obvious
he's
that
pulling punches.
It was fake because when you see his training videos, and he is lightning
lethal,
quick.
Yeah.
He's so fast at his age.
Yeah.
His trainer is terrified whenever he's
mangling people left, right and centre.
But at the same time, he's, he got paid 20
Oh, was it
million.
Jake got 40 then?
Yeah, probably.
I've seen the figure 40.
So he earned double what he got for the Roy Jones Jr. fight a couple of years ago, but...
Which is mad. I mean, that was better at least, because at least they both wanted to, I mean, I don't think any of them could...
No, it wasn't, because they're both a similar age. They're both older guys.
I don't know about you, the second I see a no knockout clause, I don't want to watch the fight.
Yeah.
Because then you just know that it's like...
I actually feel more dumb that I didn't put money on it. How foolish am I for not putting 20 quid in it to go at least 7 rounds?
On a draw.
On a Jake win. I think it's so obvious.
See, this one, I actually forget he wins. Yeah.
It's so obvious. And I said the same when it was the Floyd and
Conor
McGregor fight.
Yeah.
I said, guaranteed, there's no way Floyd's going to allow his perfect record to go messed up.
In America
he was
as well.
49-0 at that point, or 48-0.
No, I think he was 51, wasn't it?
He was in the end, because that wasn't
fight.
his. I don't know if it was his last fight though.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But where he was close. He was not going to allow Conor, a UFC fighter, but Conor was going to go. Well, I'm not going to do his accent. I'm going to try it then. I'm not going to try his accent.
You've got Irish blood. It's not racist.
Yeah, true. Well, no, it's more the fact I couldn't do a good. I wouldn't be worried about being racist. But it was more the fact that he's not going to allow the fight to not go all the way, and he's going to go. I'm fine with it going to him because, of course, it should. But I want to go at least 10 rounds, and of course it did.
Yeah.
But that at least was because they're actual two very experienced fighters. It looked very real. I think they just were both pulling their punches. Like Spider-Man. I don't know where he is, somewhere here.
Well,
he's pulling his punches.
I saw a TikTok this week and it was a mixture of I think it was Mike Tyson on Joe Rogan and then it was another bloke that he grew up with. But did you know that Mike Tyson's dad made him go through hypnotherapy when he was like 11, 12
Tell
years
me
old?
about it, because I've been hearing this. Go on.
Yeah, and to be honest, it makes a lot of sense because I was saying to Splinter before we started, like, you know how the last kind of like 5 to 8 years of Mike Tyson's career has just been him being on podcasts.
Yeah. Like
tears down his cheek, like I hated the man I was, like I was evil. And
he's got bipolar. He's got another personality.
Yeah, exactly.
And he talks about that monster. I can't let that monster get out because
but outside of the fighting as well, the awful thing. I mean, he's been locked up, banned from the UK.
Yeah.
The awful things he's doing.
He's done a lot of stuff.
But like, it's now starting to make a lot of sense because basically he was saying that his dad made him go through hypnotherapy to basically like separate Mike Tyson and like Iron Mike, let's say. The persona of him in the ring.
And
he doesn't value human life, like he's literally pure evil.
Yeah.
And it just makes so much sense now because like obviously, like I say, he spent the last few years he's clearly gone through therapy and realised that he didn't want to dip into that again. And ironically now after the Jake Paul fight, I definitely think he was talking about going evil again and all that just for selling tickets or whatever, bums on seats kind of thing. Because he definitely didn't unlock Iron Mike for little Jake Paul, did he? But
he was Sponge Mike.
But yeah, I thought it was mad because like, can you imagine like your son when he's 10, 11 years old had a couple of boxing lessons and you're like, I'm going to get you hypnotized to just fucking kill people, to just be an awful person.
Yeah. Well, he was fighting grown men at 13.
Yeah.
Because they didn't believe he was of his age. Because his neck was like 18 inches or something stupid. Like he had the thickest neck. There'll be a picture of it on the screen.
Well, that's what I've always found
crazy.
Always found mad about him though.
Crazy neck.
How tall is he, Splinter? Can you find out?
Oh, he's definitely like 5'7".
Because he's
not tall.
He's so. It could be 6 foot. That's how deceiving it is. But he looks like a short man.
No, he is a short guy. You
know what I mean?
You're about to be wildly surprised, I think.
Really? Go on.
5'7".
5'10".
No, he's 5'10". I thought he was shorter.
Well, this what confuses me because as a heavyweight, that's short.
Yeah, I know.
That's really short. But like he was sparking up man that was 6'7", 6'8".
Crazy.
But like,
Shout out,
he's built like a bus shelter for like the first 20 years of his life.
Built like a bus shelter.
Upside down triangle.
I've never heard that.
This picture's come up for him being 12 in this picture, but
Yeah.
Look at that kid.
Yeah, man.
I looked old when I was 12, but that is silly.
That looks like a 19-year-old at least, doesn't it? That's insane.
Do me a bit. Type in Mike Tyson neck. If he's sat at home and you're watching this, just get up a new tab on your phone or whatever and just type in Mike Tyson neck and just look at the width of his neck. It's absolutely ridiculous. If you're even training your neck, like he'd put weights on his neck.
What neck?
And he would
no
do
neck.
This.
It goes pecs to jaw.
Crazy. Look at the width. It's a
His
thumb.
neck's wider than his jawline.
Mental, innit?
Oh
Mental.
my God.
got Jabba the Hutt kind of neck.
Yeah, I've got a Jabba the Hutt kind of neck.
That's gross. Anyway.
That one, I'll allow it.
Yeah, that's nuts, that.
Yeah, it's absolutely unbelievable.
Anyway, a bit of a random segue, but you've got something to tell us about I'm a Celeb, haven't you?
I just said, and I saw
First of all, sorry, have you been watching it?
I've been watching it religiously.
So I don't pay a TV license, so I haven't been watching it, but I've been watching it.
You don't need a TV license. Watch it an hour later, like I do.
Yeah, on ITV, you can't have it for ITV.
Bro, it's BBC only.
No, it's not. Bro.
Yes, it is. No, when I say I've told you, I've looked into it, you're dead wrong.
The 12 letters I've received prove otherwise.
No. They try and scare you. Splinter, pull it up. The TV license covers only live TV, BBC iPlayer. That's it. I'm telling you, 4OD, Channel 4, whatever those other ones are, ITVX, all of them, you can watch afterwards.
Because it's ITVX, isn't it?
It's ITVX, you can watch it afterwards. It's only BBC iPlayer. You know, we should have ChatGPT as a thingy. But I'm telling you, it's that. But anyway, it's been good.
Go on.
And the thing I hate to see every year is who the hell are these?
When they all get on.
No, it's not even that. Oh, I hate to see that. When people put for I'm a Celebrity, they go, who are these people? They're not even celebrities. Firstly, are you expecting Tom Cruise, Kim Kardashian and Donald Trump before he goes
Prince
into
Harry.
office? That's what people expect, and it drives me mental every year.
Well, do you know what it is? I think it's because when
these
Americans do talent shows, not talent shows, like live reality TV shows, should I say, the bigger, like a Z-list American is super famous.
Yeah, it's good.
Whereas like our Z-listers are like Corey and
also
podcasters.
Ours, but Corey, Tulisa, that's a big name. Melvin O'Doom, I was watching on Anton Deck's, what's it called? Not Anton Deck, Dick and Dom in the Bungalow.
Fuck yeah.
They've actually got some really good people on.
Yeah.
I think it's the first one I've watched in years ago. I actually know a lot of these, but it don't know why it drives me mental when people go, who are these?
Yeah. This is the first one I'm sad I've missed for a while,
it's good.
Actually.
It's been good.
But like, I mean, Daddy from McFly, he's a legend.
He is. He's really good.
I think Colleen Rooney was a bit of a pull.
You know what she got paid? She was the second highest paid ever, Colleen Rooney.
Ever?
1.5 M's. Some people went in there for like 40k.
That's
madness.
Nuts. Well, this is the thing.
Big
like,
pull. Nigel Farage was first last year.
He was the most paid.
He was the highest paid.
That makes my heart hurt.
Yeah, mad, isn't it? Mad.
There isn't a figure of amount of cockroaches you can put down a man's throat that makes it worth paying Nigel Farage that amount of money.
Bonkers.
It's absolutely nuts. But to be fair, Colin Rooney's quite a pull because like the more you hear her talk about it, like Danny Murphy, for example. Not Danny Murphy.
He's not called Danny Murphy.
What's he called? Danny Jones. Danny Murphy's a football pundit. That's hilarious. Yeah, like he's a football fan. And like there was a few others in there and they're like, if I was sat here with Colleen Rooney now, like Colleen Rooney's pulled up in a car next to me once and I was like, you're married to like,
but she's got
my favourite footballer
she's
ever.
Pulling up in a spaceship.
Yeah, and I know she's a successful woman in her own right, but she's like been in the White House with Trump. And
yeah, well, she spoke about that on the show.
Yeah, she did,
apart from Reverend Richard Coles, because I still don't understand how.
Who the fuck is he? By the way,
I don't know how he made it on a.
I know he seems really nice and everyone's obsessed with him, but who is he?
He's just a writer. He's a broadcaster and a writer.
He also had a hit song in the 80s that you would know. Very, very famous song. He's in a duo.
Because I saw a clip of him saying in the jungle that someone came up to him and was like, you're the soundtrack of my childhood.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, cheers, mate. And he was like, I can't believe I nearly ran over one of the Pet Shop Boys. And he was like, oh.
Yeah, not one of the Pet Shop Boys.
That's not me.
Yeah. He's in a duo, but...
Who's that Dean guy? Everyone hates him and he's definitely a prick.
Oh, he's the biggest waste, man. He's
How is he still in there?
He's from Enns. He's from Manchester.
That's so embarrassing.
No, he got voted out last night.
Did he?
And if you're watching this, he got voted out months ago. If you're watching this on TikTok.
Yeah.
No, he was just uber selfish. He was one of those guys. He did every trial because he was a bit of a...
Didn't they complain that everyone kept on voting? Like Ant Deck made like a genuine...
They do this every year when one person who overreacts the most... Gillian McKeith, famous example. Famous example. The public goes, well, she's doing every trial.
Yeah.
So he got voted for like 8 trials on the bounce and Ant was like, put a public...
Yeah.
Interviews like, please vote for other people.
Or some of them anyway.
He said, I'm a celebrity so many times. And he would go in going, I'm changing the narrative. I'm doing it. And they go, Dean, are you sure? And he goes, I'm doing it. And he would go, I'm a celeb because of some sand touches his feet.
I did see the one where I think it was like cold water that dropped on his head and he immediately said it.
Yeah,
and Ant was like, if you'd just waited 2 seconds, you'd realise it was just cold water.
Yeah, no, he's oh no, he did that for fish guts. That was like everything else you've just gone through, spiders and cockroaches and whatever, and fish guts. He went, I'm out.
Why is he the Mancunian in there? That's so insulting.
No, there's.
Where's Danny Jones from?
I think he
gives Northern energy.
I think he's from like Sheffield, or he might be from your ends.
There you go. I like that. I'll take that.
I think he's from somewhere, Doncaster. I don't know. He strikes me as from there. We'll find out where he's from.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry I missed it.
Oh, sorry, I can't find it. Give me a sec.
Yeah, it's up in Danny Jones' hometown. But yeah, no other Mancunians on there apart from him, and he's gone now.
Danny's gone. So where
no, Danny's not gone.
Oh,
Dean's gone.
Oh, Dean.
Only 2 people's gone.
Danny Jones from Bolton.
Hey! So there you go. He's close. He's from South.
Yeah, right. There you go. Peter Kay's.
Yeah, Peter Kay's. There you go.
Normal stuff. That's not far from us.
Not too far. A little further south from where we are. But anyway, keep it going.
Anyway, yeah, right. So we got some music news. So I was supposed to split it before about he went to see Charlie XCX.
Did you go as well?
Yeah, I went to watch her at Co-op.
Was it good?
Yes.
I saw a lot of clips.
That's the quick answer.
Well, there you go. So I like Charlie XCX.
Sure.
But what I more wanted to discuss was I've been pissing myself laughing at the show's popping off in the UK. Yeah. And then did you see that Times Square show she did?
I didn't on purpose because I thought you'd have something saying it.
Oh my God, it was comical, mate. So I was going to come on here and talk about this, but thank God Splinter informed me like 2 minutes before we started filming.
Go on.
The tickets were released like within the hour before.
Oh, so a lot of people there which weren't even
probably
fans
not
of
even
hers.
Fans.
Right.
But like
energy
did
low.
Did you see any of?
I saw the. She comes
visually
out
it looks insane.
Yeah,
obviously the Brat imagery all over all the screens looks sick.
Yeah, it looks
but
cool.
obviously it's like hyper pop, and she's like she's going for it, and everyone's just down there like nothing at all. But what I love about her is she like stands still and she'll be like, "Where the fuck are you? Like, what are you doing?"
I respect it. You should be cussing out yours. If you're having a bad show and it's because of them, you should be cussing them out.
Because the last week or two of her tour has been the UK and it's all popped off. And then I think she's just gone to America and immediately first show she was just like, there's loads of clips gone viral of just being like, where the fuck is all of the energy? You're all know what? Boring.
This is the best thing. And I've seen rappers talk about this, how they say they love UK crowds because they respect it so much more.
Yeah.
That's why like London Wireless gets such big pulls because they love to go there. You already can't pull it up, but there's a clip of Roddy Ricch doing The Box, which you'll definitely know the song.
Yeah.
And he does it in London, and he goes, London, sing that shit. And they do the whole first part of the song, word for word, every single person falls. The white people saying the N-word, it's crazy. But everyone sings it.
I'm not going to pull that clip up.
Don't pull it up. But it's so good. And I've seen a supercut of interviews them going, UK fans do it different. Because they don't get those kind of people come over often. And because it's just the culture.
They're spoiled, aren't they?
You know what it is, though? You know what it is? School assemblies. We're so used to primary school assemblies.
Kumbaya, jump.
That's what it is. If you're singing, he's got the whole world in his hand for 7 years in a row, 4 times a week.
Training.
You're so used to. But also,
training.
That and football. Do you not think we're just so used to as British people singing,
screaming at top of our lungs
at the top of our lungs with a bunch of strangers? It's the most normal thing. So that's why when you go to shows, people are giving energy. Like how mad was it at Kendrick?
No,
people were losing their bananas. It was mental.
We needed singing in assembly led to singing Kendrick's in a box.
That's what it was. That actually did happen, which was class.
And apparently he loved that.
Of course he loved that because we were giving energy
on stage. There was a close.
When we were there, we were obviously really close on one of the corners.
We were next to the box.
And there was loads of guys near us with their short, tiny girlfriends who were built like Lego minifigures. And I went, you're getting dashed. Not by me, and the second it started getting wild,
they disappeared.
Me and Sam got distance from each other at a few parts and we had to kind of find each other again because it was hard to keep together.
Yeah.
Because of just the energy was
like
mental.
I said, we should have took gum shields.
Well, yeah, I could have done because we were catching elbows and whatever.
Yeah.
But thankfully, we were the toughest looking guy there. Everyone left us alone and no one near us.
And I did find myself just like scanning the room for whenever the N-word was said, just to be like, come on.
Splinter, when we were there, we were with my friend Manny, who you've not met, and he's taller than me. He's a black guy, taller than me, very big.
Ripped.
And he had a balaclava on as well, a Cortez one, just because it looked cool as hell. So he's the nicest, sweetest guy, God-fearing man. But when we were there, no one within like a 20-meter radius was saying the N-word. So when it was coming to the bits, it was only him shouting it, and then just a sea of silence around us, which was amazing because the rest of the stadium was obviously screaming it.
Yeah.
Which was just perfect because it just felt like everyone was going, he looks like he could batter me. I'm gonna keep quiet and just keep well behaved.
Cortez balaclava really like did a lot, didn't it?
He's the only, if any of us wore that, you go, that's lame as hell.
Yeah.
But because him, you go, yeah, you look sick.
Wasn't it like cream?
Yeah, it was. It was a little cream coloured.
Like cashmere or something.
Yeah,
it was
he looked
the most
so
beautiful
cool.
thing.
It
The most
looked really
beautiful
cool.
balaclava you could ever look at. Amazing.
Really
well, anyway,
cool.
speaking of Kendrick Lamar.
Go on.
So, I'm going to paint the scene. Yeah. I'm going to paint the scene for you.
Yeah, go on.
It's Friday. Was it like 1, 2 o'clock? It was like...
Some point in the afternoon.
It was early evening, late afternoon.
It was.
I'm in here with our boys, Dave and Dan. And we were setting up for an event in the studio. I get a phone call off Liam.
Let me act it out.
Bing, bing, bing.
Kendrick dropped. Phone gets put down.
And I literally, I was looking at my phone after he put the phone down. I was like, right, he must be joking because that's torture. Phones it back up.
Kendrick dropped.
Phone down again.
Phone down again.
And then I'm like running around the room.
Like, okay.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Then you called one more time and I went, Kendrick dropped, music video, 1 minute, listen now.
Yeah.
Phone goes down.
That alone, we thought we were so blessed.
My goodness, what an end to our week.
Yep.
5 minutes later, Kendrick dropped a full album. Get it on right now,
Full
GNX.
album.
Phone down.
GNX.
Because 5 minutes later, because that's who Kendrick is. He goes, it's not even a Friday, I'm dropping music.
Yeah.
It was a Tuesday or something. I don't remember what day it was, but it wasn't a Friday. It was a Wednesday.
No, it was a Friday he dropped the album.
No, it wasn't Friday though.
Yes, it was.
I don't think it was.
Yes, it was.
Are you sure?
Absolutely, 1,000,000% it was.
22nd, it says.
Yeah, because the Bear Olympics was the 23rd. We were setting up the night before the Bear Olympics.
Well, there we go then. But
Yeah.
either way,
but no
out
warning,
of the
no
blue,
album rollout, nothing.
his album rollout was 5 minutes of carnage.
Yep. I heard that his label found out that the album was being released 4 hours before it was released.
Crazy. That he would even dial up TD or PG Line, whoever it goes through, and go, oh, by the way, I'm dropping later on.
Yeah, deal with it.
And they go, okay, we're not prepped, but Kendrick, you do you.
And he'll go, you don't need to be.
You don't need to be.
Because,
that's the power of Kendrick.
I mean, I even saw, like, this is a little fun one for the Drake fans out there. Hannah, I'm thinking of you.
Hannah.
I'm going to say 4 or 5 the diss tracks. If you add them all up and put them in an EP, they outperform the other top 5 albums.
Unreal.
In hip hop this year.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
And none of those tracks are on this mixtape.
No. That's crazy behavior.
It's naughty. It's insane.
But it's the same reason when Untitled Unmastered dropped after Damn.
Yeah.
And his B-sides, These Are My Throwaway Songs, Levitate, throwaway song, which was then the NBA's official song of the playoffs that whole summer.
Yeah.
They used Levitate. His B-sides were better than most rappers' full-length studio projects with millions behind it. And his was like, oh, here's 6 songs. Oh, there's a 7th one.
Yeah. And
crazy.
And for those people watching, do you want to know why we've been calling it a mixtape and not an album?
Because an album is coming.
There's another one coming, people.
It's got to be coming.
My money's on it.
Super Bowl in February.
The breadcrumbs have been dropped.
Yeah.
All of the producers that worked on that album.
We're eating them up. Yeah.
We've picked up all of the clues. Yeah. All of the producers that worked on that album are going, well, you ain't seen nothing yet. There's more coming. The clip that was the video that was released, the actual music video, the visual, that song's not even on the album.
Yeah.
It's the other thing is, it's like, now, to kind of go off context a little bit, I really, really enjoyed GNX, but it took me a couple of listens.
Yeah.
Because it's very, very like West Coast LA.
Yeah.
Like 80s, 90s rap.
Right.
You know, like very obviously Tupac inspired.
The first 5 seconds and the last 5 seconds, which isn't Kendrick.
Yeah.
It's once you've heard the beat, one like phrase of it, that's the beat. That's the instrumental. And it's him just doing his thing.
Yeah.
And it's going to be great. And the music video for Squabble Up, really liked
unreal.
it.
Obviously littered with references and double entendres.
You know what? I watched this with Dan.
Did you see Questlove from The Roots was like in tears when he was like, I can't believe people still even care about that song because they referenced the video.
Yeah. I watched it with Dan and I was watching it going, there's so many references here are going over my head and I need someone to break it down because there's a lot of very niche, you have to be there or live there moments that I'm not
so many
getting.
90s hip hop references as
there was loads of stuff in there. Like I was like, okay, what does the sign be up there and the corner me, is that a reference to a film
Yeah.
or a show or a lyric in another song? But then there's others I go, I got that one. That one I know is a famous photo of like, you know the guys when they had the blacked out on their eyes?
Yes.
And they've joined their colours together.
Yeah,
There's a very famous picture, the Bloods and Crips doing that.
Yeah.
After the 90s LA riots.
Yeah.
So there was a little references I got and someone went, I need someone to go over and explain that one to me.
Yeah. Well, it's because he united the West, Liam.
It seems to be so.
Exactly.
And he's going to do the same in February.
That's another thing why I want to give him props though, because I think that this album/mixtape was, from a lot of stuff I've read as well, it was purely to champion young, like West Coast rappers, producers, because there was so many beat makers and producers that are like, wasn't there like a 20-year-old
20-year-old. You're born in 2004.
And you're on Kendrick's news.
And you're on Kendrick stuff.
What the fuck?
Crazy.
Naughty.
Crazy. When were you born, Splinter?
I don't want to tell you, you're going to be mean.
I'm not going to be mean. I'm just going to be sad about it.
2002.
2002?
Yeah.
2002.
January 2002.
Your
Crazy.
Spider-Man's Tom Holland. Don't like that.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's Andrew Garfield.
No, it's Tobey Maguire always.
Oh,
man.
thank.
Respectfully.
You're above your age, then I respect
Yeah,
that.
he is. He is.
I rate that.
Yeah, I respect that.
Bro, you've both seen my head. I'm definitely 35.
Yeah. But anyway, so, and like we say, lots of clues have been dropped. There's another album coming.
Yeah.
Because ironically, when you phoned me to tell me about the clip, and after I'd finally got you to pick the phone up, after you were kept putting it down on me, we were saying like, well, obviously he's got the Super Bowl coming and we knew there was going to be an album before it, so maybe January if we're lucky.
Yeah.
20 minutes later, the album comes.
Yeah.
You know, one of them. But I still think the other album's coming.
On this though, are we staying up, chatting, playing COD throughout the whole Super Bowl, watching the halftime performance together, then allowing it? Because NFL football is the driest sport.
Boring.
No, it's probably a scotch above baseball because that looks dry as hell as well. They both look boring as hell.
I think it is.
Are you a fan of?
No,
I've watched a good few Super Bowls because people have been fans of it and invited me over because I've gone, have some food, have some drinks, watch it, and I go, bare stopping and starting. And my favourite sport is a sport that stops and starts a lot. Not that much, but
yeah, I think
there's a lot more
college
action.
football is like way better. Like college football
is that because there's less adverts? Then I'm guessing
it's
is that because they have to?
It's less commercial.
They've got more to play for because they're all playing for
it's
positions in the draft.
And it's so they're playing for drafts, and it's
that
a lot
makes sense.
more.
I built for that.
That makes sense.
It's a lot more competitive within, like, because they're not really. They are professionals, but it's just a lower. Like it's seen as
less
lower
production.
Standard, but to watch, like,
but whenever I've seen a clip, and when Sam was performing at the Wise Salmon, whatever it's called in town, that new bar. What's it called?
The Wise Salmon.
It's really close.
Salmon of Knowledge.
Salmon of Knowledge. I was so close. And there was a football game playing. There was an NFL game playing, and every time I looked over, they just queuing to the guy on the phone, like with the headset. Who are you chatting to? I don't know what your job is. Are you the coach? Who could you possibly be talking to? Are you chatting to your star player?
Bro, because I couldn't give.
But every time I looked over, they were all stood in a line, just chilling, waiting for obviously a whistle for something to happen. It just seems like there's, apart from the one clip that went very viral of the guy that does a spin and then he jumps backwards and the guy goes through his legs. Cold. But is that is that happen every game?
Can you imagine though, like
do you
Manchester
know what I mean?
Derby, United v City, like ref blows the whistle for a free kick, quick boots advert, like
it's exhausting.
Like,
we said on the conspiracy episode, because we covered so much, the only reason British football or football, as they all pronounce it, isn't massive in America or really big at all is because they went, we can't literate with adverts. Allow it then.
Yeah.
It's probably not that big of a deal. Because we went 2 45-minute halves, forget it.
Yeah. I would be curious to watch like an MLS game. So like
Major League
I know
Soccer.
that but well done. I know the quality is not
Christian
great.
Pulisic, the LeBron James of soccer.
What teams do play for now? What teams play for now?
Chelsea.
Nope.
He did play for Chelsea.
He did play for Chelsea, I'll give you that.
Okay.
Anyway, and I don't mean to actually watch the game. I'm curious to watch it on American network TV and see if they've littered it with adverts.
They've got to.
Like the Premier League and stuff?
Yeah.
They've got the banners, they've
really
got to.
The MLS,
surely.
like,
well, it is. I think they throw in a very quick advert when it's...
And there's a brief sponsor from Hot Dogs.
Hot dog.
But the actual streams do really well because the time over there is like, if it's a 3 p.m. kickoff, it's like 9 or 10 in the morning in the States. So a lot of like the younger generation that watch football can get into it more because they can actually watch 3 o'clock kickoffs, unlike us, because of a stupid law that's been in since the 70s, which is still here, which doesn't make sense.
I don't mind that law.
I don't know what this law is.
Why?
It's the 3 o'clock kickoff law.
What does that mean?
So no game at 3 o'clock on a Saturday can be televised. And the idea is to keep fans going to the stadiums.
Yeah, I think it's one game.
But that doesn't make sense because they're going to be at the stadiums
there's not
anyway,
that many games left anymore. Well, and at least in top flight football, I guess.
Well, that doesn't make any sense to me because there's going to be fans at the stadium anyway. Why does that make sense?
No, because the whole... And if you think... Well,
what if the World Cup's on a...
But obviously, like...
World Cup finals on a Saturday?
They've got to think, like, with the ticket prices going up and everything like this, like, fan attendance is going down and has been going down. And the more that games are available to watch online on the TV or whatever...
I suppose back in the day, you weren't...
Anyway, so...
Chromacopia.
Yeah, last time we were here, we were predicting the feature list.
Yeah, and we were wrong.
Wrong. Yeah. Can you believe we were sat here? Because that first Saint Chroma clip, the visual we released, and there was all the analysis of like these people walking behind him. It was like, that looks like Denzel Curry, that looks like Kendrick, that looks like Frank.
Yeah, that's Andre.
And also we were already like creaming all over this floor that Frank Ocean was going to be on it. We got like 3 ad-libs, if that.
Yeah.
Daniel Caesar, like 2 ad-libs. Yeah. Baby Keem did a whoop, literally 1 ad-lib. Yeah. That being said, once I got over the disappointment of that, I love it. Give that man his Grammy. Although it'll be next Grammy.
It would be next year's, but would they just throw him into the because his only Grammy that he got for Igor
was pop, wasn't it?
No, he got rap. He got put into rap, but he said he didn't want to be in rap because he was like, one, this isn't rap, and it's not rap, but it isn't also. He said anything that's a little different, they put it into urban because that's the best category for him. And I do respect him for saying that because it does make sense.
Because Igor was way more
depending on what the rest of this year drops. Because if Kendrick drops February, is that after the cutoff date? Because that's when the Grammys are.
Well, this is what we're going to move on to in a second, isn't it? Because they've already announced the ones. Is it January or February, the Grammys?
I think it's Feb.
Early start of the year, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll have to look. I think.
Well, so I do think Chromacopia will technically be for next one. But what's your thoughts on the actual album?
So I said to you, I did a voice note after I finished it, and I said, there's a lot of references to other iconic beats that I really liked and I picked up on. But I said it's very Goblin, Bastard, old Tyler. Like the Tyler I was there listening to at the time when it came out. The first Tyler song I ever heard was Yonkers when it went viral.
Oh, yeah.
And then went and listened to his albums from then and listened to his stuff with Odd Future. And it feels, there you go, 2nd of February, 25 Grammy.
That makes sense.
And it feels very like, to me, his older style of very, what I would call weirdo synth.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's that uncomfortable
he sampled
kind
the
of,
old Quincy Jones stuff and then he gets a bit
when I really like it, there's no radio hits on it, which I kind of respect.
Apart from
Go on.
Darling I, my favourite. I think that one's got...
My favourite is, it's the one with, it's close to the bottom.
You're thinking of
who's the feature on it? I can find it that way.
No, it's the one, it's got something and I really love the outro. Now I've listened to it a couple of times, I just skipped to the outro.
I Hope You Find Your Way Home.
Thought I Was Dead?
No.
They are the 2 I ones.
I Killed You.
It's 2 words.
Was it on the screen?
Like Him?
Like Him. It's the outro of Like Him is absolutely excellent. It's my favourite part of the whole album. I love it because it's just the same phrase he does and he keeps adding more and more layers of instruments and voices to it. And I think it's a gorgeous... Just sticking off for 1 second, skip to like the last 40 seconds of it.
Will it play for the TV? If you can do it like that, I think.
Hold on, audio listeners.
Oh, yeah. This is Tyler in his peakers, isn't it?
This. It's gorgeous. This whole...
The lad and me. Yeah, love this. Although
and I love the swing beat on
it. Barking it then.
But I really love the swing beat on it. Yeah. I think it's gorgeous. And it reminds me of the... as an outro. Thanks, Splinter.
What's the one Sweet off Call Me If You Get Lost?
Oh, yeah.
Sugar, you're so sweet.
Yeah, I get it.
That like long outro kind of.
I love it.
You can tell, you can see his.
As someone who is
there.
a Stevie Wonder fan and a Kanye fan,
big time,
and the 2 people who go, here's your 3-minute song, I'm doing a 9-minute outro, take it or leave it. And I love it.
I love that.
Do you know what I mean? Time, Say You Will, the opening of 808s and Heartbreak, great song. And he goes, I'm doing the same thing for 4 minutes after. And it's the most basic, the do. And then he just adds a few little bits in, but it's so basic. But you just listen to it all through because it just it's so layered.
My favourite song of all time, that album right there. Runaway.
Yeah.
Fucking 4 minutes of vocal distortion.
We love a hefty outro.
I'll do it forever.
Oh, same in one of our favourites and was inspired on that as well. On your album was the end of Frank Ocean's.
Oh, Pyramids, yeah.
On Pyramids.
So I actually
the guitar solo at the end.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
It's John Mayer, that, isn't it?
Gorgeous.
But I actually say, Alex Blake, shout out Alex Blake, when he laid down the part for that on my tune Addiction, I said to him, this song is Pyramids and Runaway and me in like a holy trinity.
Yeah.
I was like, give me just that John Mayer SNL live version.
Yeah. And he did it.
Pyramids. I was like, give it me.
And he went, say less.
Yeah. And he's a Grammy nominated.
And he's a Grammy winning.
He's got songwriter credits.
Because of it.
Grammy nominated albums.
Cold.
So there you go.
Big flex.
But anyway, so I do think it's not my favourite Tyler Creator album.
Nope.
That's like...
It's not my top three, but that doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It doesn't
that's
matter
like what
to
we
me.
were talking about G&X with Kendrick. Like,
yeah.
Just because it's not in his best 5 albums ever, it's still
I love
way
Donda.
better than, yeah.
Isn't in my top 5, but it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean it's Bobbins.
But I think it's a mature Tyler, isn't it? Our boy's grown up.
He has.
He's talking about like adult problems.
Yeah, he's talking about loneliness a lot.
Yeah,
He's talking about he
wants to be a father.
His version of fame compared to his peers and how his fans treat him compared to his peers.
Yeah.
And his outward feeling of validation and his inward feeling. He goes on a lot of complex issues because my favourite and Flower Boy, it's very much a character-based, atmospheric, like just gorgeous songs. He was like, I'm not talking about me, I'm just going to write some really catchy rhythms and some really great songs.
Well, that's why I loved Ego, because I'm a soppy romantic and it was like his cool as fuck love songs.
Yeah.
So
are you going to watch him when he comes to the UK?
Well,
he's on both our lists because Chills has seen him. I haven't seen him. Sam's not seen him. And I need to add him to my list.
Yeah, so he's playing in Birmingham on the 17th of May.
I put it in a group chat he's Manchester May, isn't it?
Yeah, Manchester is in May.
I'm sure it's like the 28th of May.
Paris and Texas are supporting. Who's the other support? I can't remember.
Lil Yachty.
Lil Yachty. See,
Yachty as well.
That lineup alone.
Yeah, he's doing back-to-back London. Well, not back-to-back, but same venue in the space of 3 days.
I hope he does.
Yeah, he's doing London on the 19th of May, the 21st and the 22nd.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping he does Co-op because I've not been yet.
So. Well, I'm also hoping so because Splinter's just told us.
Mad. I got a plug.
Oh yeah, you're definitely gonna have to cut that bit. We ain't getting no plug. Shut up.
We'll cut this out.
Well, I'm not gonna.
You know what? This is great then because we've got a plug for Albert Hall. Danielle's got a plug through her work for MEN Arena. We've got a plug at all the major venues.
Then.
We're killing it.
I ain't paying for it. He's fucking.
Unless he's going to do the Etihad, then it would really screw us because he might do a stadium tour. He could fill it.
Well, I don't.
It's more Coldplay and.
I don't think it would. I think it'd be.
It'd be Co-op.
Yeah.
It'd be Co-op.
Oh, I'm so excited though. I'd honestly, I'd absolutely love that so much because he's in my top 3 that I've got to see.
Yeah, we have to see him. If I get him and Ye, I could die, and I'm calm.
I've come to terms where I'm never going to see Kanye.
No, I am.
No, because even if he releases a tour, he's going to just break our hearts and just like
but I don't
rogue
care.
again.
When he did his South Korea show and he had the whiteboard and he did something like 60 songs or something mental. He had so many.
60 songs?
I was going to say 70 and 60, but it was about 60 songs. But it's because he did like
2 minutes of each.
First verse and then chorus of one. And then he just did like the back end of another because he was like, my discography is so big. Everyone wants to hear anything from late registration.
On paper, I hate that idea, but being there,
no,
I think I love it. For him.
Only he's the only person because he's
got enough.
He's one of the few people who I know that much of your discography.
Because I want to hear an album track off like Life of Pablo. Like I want to hear.
You have to dance around and go, give me a little bit of this, cut it off and go right back to Jesus Walks and then go right ahead to, 24.
I don't want to get my hopes
and then go dance around with it.
I really don't want to get my hopes
I think I'll actually probably burn 2,000, 3,000 calories at a Kanye show. My diaphragm will explode because of my voice will be gone and I'll just be the whole show. Be crazy.
Anyway, we'll move on then. So
move it swiftly.
Splinter, get some Grammy nominations up for us. So
pull them up.
Basically, in the last week or two, I can't remember when it was, but the 2025 Grammys have announced the nominations.
Yeah.
And I thought I wanted to get a little discussion on each.
So Beyonce's on it again for every single category.
First up, we got Album of the Year nominees. So we got New Blue Sun, Andre 3000, Cowboy Carter, Beyonce, Sean Sweet, Sabrina Carpenter, Brat, Charlie XCX.
Don't give it Jacob Collier.
I can never read out.
I'll do the bottom ones because you can't see
it.
Collier.
Yeah, not his name.
Jesse.
Is it
a silent D like, I think, like Django.
Jesse Volume 4. by Jacob Collier, Hit Me Hard and Soft, Billie Eilish, The Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess, Chappelle Roan, and The Torture Poets Department. Who is winning it for you?
Sabrina.
3, 2, 1,
Sorry.
Sabrina.
Yeah, it has to go to Sabrina. I think there's cultural album of the year, which you probably give to Brat, no question. Or I think Chappelle Roan, but I think she should more be in the newcomers, even though I know she's been about for time. It's only really the last year she's mega popped off. I think give it to Sabrina because everything on that album is a back-to-back slapper.
I've got to say,
I think it's only fair.
I'm really surprised you've both said Sabrina Carpenter.
Well,
what did you think we'd say?
I think it's tough for me because I
can't
think
give it, as much as I love Andrew 3K, I can't give it to 11 songs about a flute. Do you know what I mean?
11 fart
a weird
songs.
flute.
If you farted like down a copper pipe, it would make a similar noise to half of that album. And Andre 3000 is one of my goats.
Yeah.
But this list is just proof that the Grammys are absolute bumperclarts because why the fuck is that even in there? This is pop album of the year as well, I'm sure.
Also, don't want to see Jacob Collier in there. Yeah, I don't care. You're the Neil deGrasse Tyson of music. I'm not interested in how a keyboard works.
No,
do you know what I mean?
I completely agree.
That makes total sense, doesn't it?
I completely agree with you, but you've worded it brilliantly.
I'm not interested in how what they called this scale fits this kind of. Just write a good song.
I always say about Jacob
The only
Collier,
good Jacob Collier songs I like are covers of other people's music.
That you
there you go. Shake my hand from there.
Thank you. Yeah. Because he's not like trying to rewrite the playbook. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like,
I get he knows what goes into the this and that, and he knows me. I'm not interested.
Have you heard him do Best Part by Daniel Caesar?
Bobbins. Oh no! Anything he does for Daniel Caesar.
No,
my favourite is when
really
he did
piano. Yeah, that honestly, that performance when he's doing it solo on piano like that.
Yeah, it's really good for the first half, and then it's you're the coffee that I need in the morning.
Yeah, I've heard you do it. I don't like it.
I can't be doing with it.
I don't like it.
But anyway, I do think it's got to be short and sweet, Sabrina Carpenter, because as a pop album, it's flawless, man.
Pop is popping right now.
But Brat.
I think for me,
really
it's like
Brat.
it's Brat or Chappell Roan.
Yeah, and
Chappell, I think it's totally fair.
Chappell Roan's the only one there that I've actually I've really bashed that album, and I think she's amazing.
She's up for newcomer, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, give it to her for
also,
newcomer.
Brat was it's just been such an iconic.
But that's what I'm saying. That's a
cultural
cultural album, though. I'm not talking.
Yeah,
and obviously, I know it did have.
But what's the tunnel vision though, as well?
Songs.
Like Manchester and Our Friendship Group, it's been monumental, Brat, hasn't it?
Yeah, but even from Londoners as well. I just
yes, of course.
I think you can. Well, she did SNL a couple of weeks ago. Double. She did performing and also did all the sketches. Killed it. She's very funny.
But I just think considering this is the Grammys and it's worldwide and mainly America.
Yeah, I guess she's been on War Tour all year. And
so many people would be like, who the fuck is she and why is she won?
Let's keep it going. We got a lot to get through.
Best new artist. Well, I'll go top then. Benson Boone, Sabrina Carpenter, Doechi. I can never pronounce the name properly.
I can't see that from
I think that's actually how you say it.
Thank you. And I ain't got a clue what the last one is.
Khruangbin.
Oh yeah, Khruangbin. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
and
go
then
on. Give us the bottom ones.
Chappell Roan, Shabuzi.
Teddy Swims
from there.
Right, that is. Ooh, so, I was just going to say it's super easy for me, but it's not. Doechi is so sick. Have you listened to much of her?
No, I've not.
She's just got a feature on the Tyler album.
Oh yeah.
But I saw loads of clips of her playing an underground show in London recently. Oh my God, she's incredible. She's absolutely incredible. Rapper, but a great singer as well.
No matter how good she is, she's up against some heavy hitters.
But yeah, that's true.
She wouldn't take it over Ray.
I think
but Ray's also been about for years though as well.
This reminds me. Sabrina Carpenter is not a new artist.
No, Sabrina Carpenter was famous since she was 9.
Yeah, just because you've blown up in the last year doesn't mean you're a newcomer.
Did you see that clip of her when she was on her show and she plays a basketball player and she says to the black one, just pretend the ball's a piece of fried chicken? Crazy.
I'll be honest, I didn't know that was a.
She's been famous since Splinter was wearing diapers.
She has Disney Channel, yeah.
So
I'm sorry, I'm not giving best new artist to a Disney kid.
No.
So for me, it's Ray or Chappell Roan.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Ray's.
You keep pronouncing her name different every time you say it.
What? Which one?
Chappell
Roan. I've always said Chappell Roan. Is it Chappell Roan?
I thought it was Chappell Roan.
But you keep saying Chappelle, and then you went
Chappell Roan.
I've always done Chappell Roan.
Go on, let's keep going. The next one. Are we doing all the major ones? We're not doing best contemporary Latin pop.
Best rap album. Right. This one, I was
J. Cole's
confused by this.
Terrible album out of there. Not interested.
Right, so let's read them out then. Might Delete Later by J. Cole. We've got The Auditorium Volume 1 by Common and Pete Rock. We Don't Trust You, Future and Metro Boomin. The Death of Slim Shady, Eminem. Alligator Bites Never Heal, Doechi. So, hit me, Liam. What are you going for?
It's We Don't Trust You. Signed, sealed, delivered. Get out of it. It's not going to be Eminem. And I'm even amazed that they would consider him because of how many times he said, I'm not interested in the Grammys. Don't ever invite me. I'm never going to come. And he's so against them. Because he thinks he said what everyone already knew, and they were incredibly biased.
Yeah,
and it's who they're trying to push. It's who's who's their new star girl, star boy said. J. Cole's album, Might Delete Later, was terrible. Didn't like it at all. And I'm the biggest J. Cole fan.
Do you not find that list mega disappointing? Because
it is disappointing.
Yeah,
it's not really great hits.
Really disappointing. Now, the Kendrick tune on Metro Boomin's album is slaps.
I love it.
There's loads of songs on that album that I really like, and Future's a massive hit, and Metro Boomin's a great producer. So I think it's an easy. Well, compared to all these, I just have to go on.
Yeah, but Alligator Bites Never Healed, Doechi, is a fantastic album.
Sure it is.
It really is. So I'd
love to see it win. I'd love to see it against
I would absolutely
heavy hitters that have
because
released
ironically,
a lot of really good
the likes of
albums
J.
over
Cole, Common, and Eminem, that's 3 monumental hitters, but 3 garbage records.
Yep.
Well, I'm being harsh on Common. I haven't even listened to that one. But again, with the Grammys, why is a Common album that no one's heard of been nominated for Grammy? Anyway, go on, we'll move on.
Keep it going.
Best melodic rap performance. We got.
Do you care about this?
Actually, I don't really care about this.
I want to get to the thingies.
Yeah,
there's going to be a few of these we won't care about.
I don't think I could tell you how any of those songs go. So
neither.
Record of the year. Now we're talking.
This is a good one.
This is a really interesting.
I'll go top
list.
then. Now and Then, The Beatles, Texas Hold'em, Beyonce, Espresso, Sabrina Carpenter, 360, Charlie XCX.
Birds of a Feather, Billie Eilish, Not Like Us, Kendrick, Good Luck Babe, Chappell Roan, and Fortnite by Taylor Swift and Post Malone.
You two aren't going to decide on this, are you?
I'm really struggling with this.
No, I think I've got it.
Go on, what are you going for?
I think it's 360.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Billie's got enough Grammys and she's like 11 years old. Give it someone else. And she's got 2 Oscars at this point.
But Birds
Doesn't
of a
need
Feather
it.
is a fucking banger.
They're all bangers.
They are
Not
all
Like
bangers.
Us was a mega hit.
That's the first time I've seen a list on these nominations and thought all of them deserve to be there, apart from Taylor Swift. So I don't really
Get Now and Then out of it. It's 60 years old.
Now and Then.
I don't care if it's been shelved. Not interested. Not asked.
That is a fantastic song.
Yeah,
Sure.
It's
a brilliant song.
It's nice. It's refreshing.
It is. And I'm sorry.
What is this? Sorry, is this Grammy Awards 1968?
Nah, but
get it out of here then.
Yeah, but you got to think 80% of the song was written this year.
Yeah.
I think that is one of the only things that is a champion for AI use in music.
It's not even
because
a good
the fact that they could write
cover.
a song with their dead best mate from 30, 40 years ago and it actually be brilliant. I think it's brilliant.
Bobbin's album cover, not getting a consideration. Give it Charlie, please.
But for me,
she's everywhere. She's so Julia, Sam.
Yeah, 360.
The thing is, I just don't think
or Espresso
Brat is going to win, and I don't think she'd get any others. And
so that's what I mean. She's not going to call out the year.
Like her anyway.
That's true.
So I
don't think 360 is the best tune she's had out this year.
Not on that album.
Not.
So this is what annoys me about.
It's the most famous
365 has to be, in my opinion.
What's that one?
365. It's like like bumping that and
I really like Guess with Billie Eilish, but I also thought that was like commercial enough to be the one.
I didn't like
that
song.
Like that.
I don't like a whisper from a feature. Whisper's the whole song.
It was sick though. I think Espresso was the biggest tune on there though.
Espresso or
definitely
360
took a storm.
Good Luck Babe and Not Like Us are my 2 favourites on there, so I'm struggling with that. So we'll move on.
There's some of these lists that are stacked and others are just
This is another thing I've always been confused by, and you might be able to educate me. Why is Record of the Year and Song of the Year 2 different things? It's not
That's
1960.
your bag, and I have no idea what the difference is.
It's not 1960.
I'll find out while you discuss this
because
one.
I'd always thought, traditionally, you think of a record as an album.
Yeah, you would.
But they were all singles.
Die With a Smile, big
I don't know.
fat
So anyway, yes.
smelly
Song of the
tune
Year,
though, innit?
A bar song, Tipsy, Shabuzi, Birds of a Feather again, Die With a Smile, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars, Fortnite again.
And then Good Luck Babe, Chappell Roan, Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar, Please Please Please, Sabrina Carpenter, Texas Hold'em, Beyonce.
Because this feels like, I always feel like this feels like an unfair category because for argument's sake, let's say that Beyonce wins both.
Oh,
Beyonce will
of the Year and Song of the Year
definitely
of Texas Hold'em.
She definitely
it's the fucking
will
same.
both.
It's the same Grammy, but you got 2 Grammys.
It's actually a really interesting difference. The main difference between the Grammy Awards for Record of the Year and Song of the Year is that the Record of the Year recognises the performance and the production of a song, while the Song of the Year recognises the songwriters.
Oh,
so I actually think that's a really cool difference.
They have to also clarify which of these are written by a team of 20 people and which of them are written by a
So why is
person.
Beyonce on there then?
That's what I'm saying.
She's got half
because Billie Eilish,
LA
that'll be written by her
credits.
and her brother exclusively.
Yep.
And Beyonce's will have been written by a team of 30 people.
Chappell Roan's. Have you seen the clip of her doing Pink Pony Club when she was like 13 or whatever?
There's like 4 people there.
But it's the same song, apart from obviously because she's playing it on her own.
No, shout out to her.
But it's a fantastic song. That is a brilliant song. But Die With a Smile is a banger. It really is. But I will no shame at all say Please, Please, Please. That was the best pop tune I've heard all year.
It's a great song.
I thought it sounded like Blondie and ABBA, and good. Everything just like morphed into.
There's a couple of years that I could see it go to. Don't give it to Beyonce. Give it to anyone else.
I don't want to see Beyonce winning any Grammys this year.
No.
Yeah, I could see Kendrick winning this one actually.
Yeah, I could.
If it's
because again,
he'll pick up a couple though.
Culturally, that song changed the world this year,
massively.
Whether people like it or not.
Next one.
Best pop solo.
Do we care about this one?
Yeah, I think so. It'd be a pretty quick one though, because it's the same with what we already discussed. So best pop solo performance: Bodyguard, Beyonce; Espresso, Sabrina Carpenter; Apple, Charlie XCX; Birds of a Feather, Billie Eilish; and Good Luck Babe, Chappelle Roan. Solo performance, I think it has to be. It has to be Sabrina Carpenter because I think vocally she's incredible. She gets a lot of stick for
give it to her
for miming and audio and all this, but vocally she is the best there.
Give it to her.
Although I prefer Chappelle Roan's voice.
Give it to her.
Chappell Roan, sorry.
Chappell Roan. Yeah, she's in. They're in everything this year. Chappell and Sabrina.
Pop vocal album. So it's Sabrina, Billie Eilish, Ariana Grande, Chappell Roan, Taylor Swift. Pop vocal again.
It's like Taylor's going to win it though, isn't it? Let's be real.
Oh,
Taylor could fart into a mic for 90
If they're going to give it any
it.
of them, they're going to give her like.
Well, this is what I'm talking about.
Album.
Because if we're talking,
so I can't get behind.
This is where the Grammys are fucked up though. Because if we're talking by definition of what the genre's for, best pop vocal, it has to be someone like Sabrina. Or to be fair, I don't even know the album, but Ariana Grande, because like she's a go at what she does.
Yeah, she could.
Taylor Swift is not a better singer than anyone else on that list.
No, or a performer. I know it's pop vocal, but still.
I've seen her blow her nose into her hand on stage.
Crazy, so like, I saw that. And she's just like, and it's like sliding off her fingers.
Makes it worse? So grim. There's one clip where she's like dead eye contact with a fan and she's like, she like flicks it at them as well. I'm like,
yeah, but they had their mouth wide open.
Yeah, well, I'm not being funny. They were cupping sick for Justin Bieber and flogging it, weren't they, on eBay? So maybe that gauze is on eBay.
Can we stop doing this with famous people, please? Can we just dial it back? Can we just lower it?
So what, are you deciding what, Sabrina? Or
I think it's got to be Sabrina.
Sabrina or
I haven't
Chappell,
listened to the Ariana Grande album. Go on, hit me next.
Actually, I just want to touch on one thing about being a vocal album. I think because it's prioritizing the vocal and Billie Eilish is like layering of vocals across all the songs might just give her the edge on that. If you're looking at like...
What, Sabrina or Ariana?
What about Billie?
Oh, right,
Because Billie, like obviously with Phineas, the
that makes
genius
sense.
For producer with the vocal.
Adore it. I agree.
I think
top-tier duo.
If we're talking vocal pop, that should be a contender for it.
But that's why I thought Sabrina might, because it's as much as Billie has dominated pop, like Sabrina Carpenter was proper princess pop in it. It was chart pop. But best pop duo group performance. So I haven't listened to Us by Grace Adams, Taylor Swift.
No, give it to Die With a Smile. Easy
I'm not even going to look at the rest,
peasy.
Or Guess. I know you didn't like. I think Guess was a tune. And I thought that was a match made in heaven, Charlie XCX and Billie Eilish.
No,
and I think it's the only thing that Charlie XCX has got a chance of winning.
So stylish. I'm not even talking about the music video.
But Die With a Smile
itself is so stylish.
Next. I'm happy with that.
Thank you. Next.
Did you not think Charlie and Lord's song of Girls So Confusing could have won this as well?
Yeah.
Couldn't have told
I think Guess was bigger.
I guess because it's Billie.
That's why I think it's the only chance she'd ever win in it.
Oh, skip past
I'm not asked about Dance Electronic Record because let's be honest, Fred again's going to win it.
We've done all the major ones anyway.
Ketchnada always cleans up, doesn't
he? Yeah,
he went back to back last year.
Justice and Tame Impala though, Never Ender. That was a tune.
Yeah, wow,
that was a tune. And shout out to Phoebe Rowe. We've basically ripped off that song.
Yeah, who's that? Next,
best dance electronic album. Right, so this has to be. It has to be Brat, but I won't be surprised if it goes Ketchnada.
Yeah.
I really hope she comes away with like at least
she
one.
deserves something.
She really.
It's the absolute peak of her career.
Yeah, she really won't be able to hit this height again.
I think that's all of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, you know what? There's some good picks now, and I think we've
can't
nailed
wait to be wrong on every one of them.
No, we'll nail a lot of them.
Can't wait for Beyonce to win best dance electronic album.
Literally just going to breathe in to say Beyonce will clean them all up anyway, or every one of them, if they beat her, will thank Beyonce because that's the new thing.
Can't wait for Ketchnada to go up there and thank Beyonce, even though he's never met her in his life.
Just Taylor Swift.
Even though he's never been in the same category as her.
Yeah.
So.
Right, just for some context.
We've
got a dog in the room who's lost his tennis ball under the sofa.
And he's crying.
And even though you probably can't hear that, when we're trying to talk, I just keep hearing...
Thing is, if you've heard Navi when it drops underneath it, it's so much louder.
Yeah,
because when she does this...
You know what, you've done well to not mention it up until an hour
in. No, we're an hour in, mate, but that was that one was... Ironically,
that's the loudest
it's been. Till the end to hear why.
The mic... Oh, right, is he just
That's the loudest he's been, to be honest.
I don't think the mics will have picked that up. I just feel like I have to acknowledge it. Anyway,
right then. Should we get our tinfoil hats on?
So,
for the audio listeners.
Here we go. Audio listeners. Half an hour on the pod for the
Ignore the
get this in 20 minutes.
The tinfoil hats are out for our audio listeners. Do you know why the tinfoil hats are out?
They can hear the tinfoil hats.
Aliens are real, baby. We've been telling yous. We've been warning yous.
So by the time you see this on YouTube or TikTok...
Yeah, you've probably already shook hands with one.
By the time there's been an invasion by now...
they'll be in TK Maxx already.
Yeah, they're already shopping for garbs at TK Maxx.
Yeah,
looking for some Le Coq Sportif joggers.
Yeah. ET's already been in JD.
Yeah. So obviously covering this afterwards, after the... Did you watch the thingy yet?
So
the full
give them
US,
context. Tell them why we're bringing this back up then.
We're bringing this back up because
for
obviously
the non-believers out there, Dave Smith, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, if you listen to this, 2 weeks ago, give or take, there was 4 people who were previous or current members of some form of military or government body.
Pentagon.
Yeah. There was the industrial military complex. There was the Pentagon. There was a guy who represented NASA in some capacity.
And the other one was an admiral in the Navy SEALs, wasn't
One was an admiral in the Navy SEALs, hence why he went, they're in the water. They're in the oceans.
Hence the change of name from UFO to UAP.
UAP, which I think is...
What does UAP stand for, Liam?
I don't know what much went super blank then. Unidentified aerial phenomena.
No, it's
unidentified.
No, it's anonymous. No, it's changed again. So this
they did.
Yeah, because
it was
they changed it from
phenomena.
UFO to UAP for unidentified aerial phenomena.
Yeah.
To try and get rid of the stigma of UFOs. But then after this not so recent revelation, I guess, because if you've got your ear to the ground, like us geeks do.
Yep.
We've known that they've been going in the water and stuff, but aerial doesn't cut it anymore.
Well, they've also changed that they want to even take about the term for alien. They're now doing EBEs.
I don't know
which is extraterrestrial biological entity.
That makes sense. Because, I think we got excited. So for full context then, so those 4 government officials swore under oath in Congress. Yeah. So for you small-minded UK Brits listening to this, that's like Keir Starmer stepping up in Parliament and saying this, like it's as official as it gets. You can't call this fake anymore. No. You can't call it BS anymore. It's as official as it gets. And they stood up under oath and confirmed they are in possession of aircrafts or whatever.
Biologics,
UAPs,
as they say.
And they said biologics. They said, we refuse to call them aliens because you're all going to think of ET knocking about. Yeah. Here he is. He's on camera now. Right, dog's sat at my leg.
Yeah, sit there.
Are you going to chill out and stop screaming because we'll talk about aliens now? It's serious
maybe
shit.
he's come sorry to shut the fuck up.
Maybe he's one of them.
I think, honestly, at this point, there's no one... I think the harshest alien skeptic and the most passionate believer that we're alone, I think I could convince him at this point.
This is why we want to bring this back up now.
Listen to this person.
You're not a crackpot anymore. We ain't tin foil hat
anymore. To the hats. I think there's no one I couldn't convince at this point with the information.
Can you believe that we're in an era now where, and to be fair, Splinter, we're kind of like educating Splinter on this because he's not heard about a lot.
I'm in denial about this shit. Are
you agnostic? Or are you an atheist?
I've got a cream for that.
Nice.
So Matt, you're kind of like just denying it because you don't want to die.
Yeah,
you're a fence sitter.
Yeah, I'm a fence sitter. I definitely believe there's some like.
Because here's my thing though, there's nothing that I don't believe that I haven't seen unbelievable backing from either witnesses. Documentation, I think, is really hard to dispute. Where you can go on the CIA.gov, FBI.gov, whatever, on these websites.
NASA have leaked
and
stuff
they've got reels and reels of documents from up to 100 years ago.
J. Edgar Hoover, the head of the FBI in the 60s, has signed documents that were read out by Luis
Elizondo.
Elizondo,
that's it.
Who swore under oath, by the way. He shows this document, and J. Edgar Hoover was literally confirming and trying to communicate with the Russians during the Cold War.
Yeah.
That if something comes over the horizon, they need to phone up. The Russians need to phone the Americans need to phone the Russians and check it's not a UFO. That's how seriously they took it.
This quote is absolutely insane.
So Luis Elizondo, the former US counterintelligence officer for the Pentagon, this is a pullable quote, excessive secrecy has led to grave misleads against loyal civil servants, military personnel and the public, all to hide the facts that we are not alone in the cosmos.
He said that under oath in Congress.
Also, very nicely said, very well. Poetic.
So this is the thing really as well. So this Louise guy, he was on Joe Rogan and Stephen Bartlett.
He was.
And he basically told the same. It was
very credible person.
Exactly. But he's got a book out, and what he was explaining on these podcasts is that he's been through all of the rigorous like checks for him to get this like book signed off.
Yeah.
So everything he said in it, he's been allowed to say.
It's been approved.
So this is what's mind-blowing as well, because he's talking about stuff on these podcasts that is just bending your brain backwards.
Yeah.
And then also saying, oh, but I'm not allowed to talk about that. So like, if this is what he's allowed to talk about, you know what I mean? It's insane. And it's because he was basically saying that let's say he reckons there's a dead split between 50% and 50% in the government that don't want people to know and 50% that do. And he said, this made a lot of sense to me, and it made me think. But he said the 50% that don't want the world to know, he said, I don't think it's because they don't believe or anything like this. He said, what we've got to a point now is that these people all work in national security. So the absolute priority of their jobs is to think about the safety of the people in the country, not just the world or whatever. So the reason they don't want it to get out is because they have to think paranoid. Makes sense. They have to think in a paranoid
worst case scenario, isn't it?
Yeah, and they have to think that if these aliens or whatever are here monitoring us and we reveal that we know they're there, we're forcing their hand to act.
It's a very good point.
So they could be here peacefully. Personally, I think they're here peacefully because they've been here for...
I think they are
we've got proof they've been here for over 100 years.
Yes.
But I'm personally convinced they've been around as long as we have. If we are not them... Do you know what I mean?
If we're not them, it's a great point.
Do you know what I mean? But like, my point being, I think we'd definitely know by now if they were here to just 100%. Kill us all.
But on the point on that is that Bob Lazar, obviously very famously, if you've not listened to it yet, go into Joe Rogan's and listen to it.
You mean the man who has the biggest I Told You So in human history?
The biggest I Told You So. He worked at a base called S4 in the late 80s, back engineering a craft because his whole thing was propulsion systems. Yep. So he understood how to make things go. And he worked on a craft that he said had no signs of, it didn't give off any heat, didn't give off any smoke, steam, anything to go. And that's how we understand everything to move in our world.
And discovered a new element in this.
And everything he spoke about in the 80s has, in the years has come true, and things we've found out have come to light and just backed up his story more credibly. And he said he's lost friends, money, job, everything. He's nothing to gain from all this, apart from everything that's gone wrong for it. And he said that his craft that he worked on was an archaeological find. Yeah. Meaning it wasn't something that they had fresh.
Yeah,
this was something that's been around for however long it's been.
And he was saying this, I'm going to call it an engine because there's no other word for it, but just so people can paint the picture. It's like an orb. Yeah. And whatever this element 115, the element that they found in it, it was basically like anti-gravity, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
he said like two magnets that are opposing each other.
So, you know, when like, and I realised, to go off on a tangent, I realised I've not said this on our Cults and Conspiracies one.
Go on.
But, you know, so the Tic Tac UFOs, the ones that the most popular... Splinter, have you ever seen a clip of those ones that look like Tic Tacs in the air and they're like jump around?
I've seen a few of them.
Yeah, they're the most popular ones that people have all seen. And now, hand on heart, my mum has been telling me since I was a kid that she saw something in the sky. And my mum's not like, ironically, has been jumping well on the bandwagon with this and has been loving it. But like, my mum was not really been a UFO person or whatever, but she said, I saw something when she was like 10, 11, 12 in Manchester in the sky, and it was like 3 or 4 white dots that were like, looked like, she used the word Tic Tac. And she's telling me this story 15 years ago, by the way. And she saw him, whatever, told her dad, my granddad came out, saw him as well, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, and then when I'm like 17, 18, I'm going to say, she saw him again in our garden.
Crazy.
And was like, oh my God. Anyway, and now they're like the most popular in that everyone has claimed to see or have been knocked around. And the reason that they can jump around like that is because of this exact engine in quotation marks that Bob Lazar's talking about, because it doesn't conform to physics as we know it. No. So there isn't a push and a pull. There is no force on it. It has its own gravity, so it can go at the speed of light and then stop dead. Yeah. And that's also why it's amphibious and go underwater as well. So it's just nuts.
On the example on that, Splinter, if you type in Commander David Fravor, he's the one who famously captured it, the Tic Tac UFO. Oh. And it was in like 2004 or something. And he was RAF, he was the Royal Air Force. And his whole thing was that they were testing out these F-18s that they had. They were like cutting edge technology planes, the fastest in the world, the very, very best the US had to offer. And they tracked this UFO when he was doing this exercise. And it was traveling so much faster than them. And it was giving off no heat signature, because obviously on their infrared, they can see exhaust or whatever heat, and this thing was just moving so quick, and they tracked it. And they said, if I remember it correctly, that the human body can go up to something like air.
I was just about to say this. So just to confirm as well, this Luis guy, it was Luis, I keep
Elizondo.
Yeah, Elizondo. It was him saying this under oath again.
Yeah. Backing him up.
So yeah, he said that, so basically Splinter.
That was it, 2004, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Incident.
So if you think about like in speed as in like G's, so if you're in an F-15, so was it F-15 or whatever it's called? So they said that humans can go, now I can't remember because this was 2 or 3 weeks ago, but let's just say it was between 6 and 8. If you get to like 8 G's, we'll pass out.
Yeah.
And like anything over 8, you could die.
Yeah.
Like your blood just isn't supposed to travel like that. And let's say they're F-15s because I can't remember.
Yeah.
The fastest that we've got can go to 16, 17 G's before they start literally melting.
Yeah.
And like,
because your body just can't handle that kind of pressure.
No, like the actual aircraft will just start melting and deforming.
Yeah.
Because it's not supposed to go that quick. The aircraft they have in their possession can go upwards of 2,000 to 3,000 G's. 2,000 to 3,000
G's. Who said it's and the way it was moving, it could stop at a dime and could zip in any other direction. And they said nothing on Earth can move like that. And they said the proof they had was they had him, who's a commanding officer, his whole team of his squad, and they tracked it on radar, they tracked it visually, they tracked it like in every possible way they could on satellite. Said we've got it tracked under so many different variables that unless this is just the most unbelievable fake story, it couldn't even be fake because you can see the official video of them talking about. But
this is the thing, though, it's the way that they think they're following it.
Yeah.
And it just shows that it's messing with us because they follow it for so long and then it just dips.
Yeah.
It's like they think they're keeping up with it.
Yeah. They said they were so much faster than
this is why this Louise guy's like, you've got to think there could be an element of them just showing us their performance capabilities to just threaten us.
But this is the thing that Bob Lazar gave an example. I saw an into it and I think it's so clever. And he said that if you took a nuclear reactor, like a portable one,
I love this one,
and you dropped it in Victorian times to the people that
Aztecs, he said, I think.
Not even them. I'm going just 100 years ago.
Right, yeah.
Before they even knew what radiation was.
Yeah.
And they opened it up, they would all die from the radiation.
And they wouldn't even know why.
And they wouldn't know why, and they would assume it was magic or they would assume it was cursed. And anyone that came and checked them, they would also die. And to them at that time, that is magic because there's nothing giving it off and it's just this thing. And it says it's the exact same thing with what they were dealing with. They were like, this is so beyond our time, what we've got.
Yeah.
That it's impossible
we can't compute it.
Yeah, it's impossible to say. And I think there's my newest conspiracy. I only thought about this the last, leading up to this. It makes total sense why the government wouldn't want it to get out there and make it obvious that we've got this stuff. Do you know why?
Go on.
Because it shuts down entire industries overnight. If we find out your car doesn't need petrol anymore because we've got this other technology, all of that whole industry, billions and billions, goes under overnight. If you find out now that we can do things differently, aircraft travel, totally different now because we don't need to pay for these things.
Think about religion and stuff.
Yeah, I was just about to say think about war politics as well. If Russia finds out that America has something,
major religious industries going belly up overnight, and people in mass panic because everything they thought they knew has just totally gone.
Well, I've got one for you now then, and I think it was Louise who said it, but and it might have been Ronald Reagan he was referencing, but he said the other reason that's scary of why the government might be becoming more lenient on people finding out this kind of stuff is because there's only one circumstance where everyone in the world would agree to being governed by one body.
Yeah.
And it's as if we were in
an
danger
extraterrestrial threat.
By an extraterrestrial threat.
It makes sense why there's some people, I've seen this for the longest time, and that the government's pushing even fake stories out.
Yeah.
Because they want to get everyone, if they can go, hey, we all need to get on the same team.
Yeah.
Let us rule and govern you because we need to be careful because of them. One government control over everyone is a dangerous amount of power that someone would definitely want to have. And it's not a good idea.
Yeah. Well, we could talk about this all day. And every time we do this, I want to just do a 10-episode series on it.
We could.
But one story I really, really want to tell because it's the one that sticks with me the most, especially because, and Splinter, you'll like this, but and it's the one I like telling the most because it's, if you've never paid any attention in this stuff, you've still heard a story about someone spotting something in the sky. Go on.
Zimbabwe 1994.
No. I like that one though. You tell me that one after this.
Go.
The reason I'm telling this one is because so many people who don't pay attention to this stuff have never heard of anything alien related underwater.
Yeah.
So this Louise,
just call him Louise at this point.
Yeah, my guy Louise. He was talking. He was talking to some Navy SEALs, and he said this is 4 or 5 members of this team that have all been under a lie detector test, and it's his job. What we've not discussed as well is that I can't remember what it was called, but he ran the government department that oversaw monitoring UAP presence, didn't he? And that's why he's on that panel in Congress.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he was the one who's supposed to rigorously check and question these people.
Yeah.
They all passed the lie detector test.
Yep.
But these 4 or 5 blokes, they're in the US military, but basically they're testing torpedoes.
Yeah.
It'll start to ring a bell now.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean. Go ahead.
So they test torpedo splinter and they go through the water, but they're just testing the propulsion of the torpedo. It doesn't actually explode. So how fast it can travel underwater. So they'll fire it, it'll go under the water, and then once it's run out of steam, it stops. A little like parachute comes up, it floats to the top of the ocean, and then a helicopter goes out with these 4 or 5 blokes on it. And one guy who's called the Frogman goes down this little ladder. They hook it up to the helicopter and they fuck off back home.
Yeah.
He said all 4 or 5 of these blokes retold this story, right? He said that when they went down the ladder to pick it up, he said a black mass, and he said they referenced it as dark as the devil, appeared, and he couldn't see the end of it. It was that big. Appeared just before it breached the surface. A tiny little like whirlpool opened up, sucked the torpedo out of this guy's hands, and he's frantically getting back up the ladder, and it left, and then it just disappeared again.
You'd be terrified.
Now, is that not way scarier than all of these little tic-tac ones that people are seeing?
It is.
And then when you think about the fact that 97% of the ocean we've never discovered, we know more about the stars than we do about the ocean. I mean, you don't even want to talk about the Antarctic Circle and all that shit.
Oh, we need a whole episode for that.
The fact that every country in the world's got a treaty to not go into a certain bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
It's scary stuff, but what I'm saying is, like, and then, well, what I also want to say is there's another one is that they've got footage. He said they've got footage, and he said it's 4K footage from a military aircraft. But he said I'm obviously not allowed to disclose it. But he said of them going over an oil tanker, not an oil tanker, the oil rig, the ones that are like a small city on legs.
Yeah, enormous.
He said they're huge. And he said they've got footage of this black mass appearing next to it that was 5 times the size of this oil rig.
Crazy.
Slowing down, stopping next to the oil rig, and then speeding off at over 400, 500, 600 knots, which is like quicker than anything can go underwater.
Yeah. Mental. Fish getting chopped up.
Fish getting mashed up. But I mean, when you think about that now, I think it flips everything that we know into like, into abyss. I mean, like we were watching the second Megalodon film last night, and obviously it was shit, and we were talking about how shit it was.
Yeah.
But like, it was really fucking racking your brain because, you think about stuff like the giant squid now and stuff, it's been seen like twice in humanity or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that we haven't seen.
What is more that's under there that we don't know about? Yeah.
It's just nuts.
100%.
So, like, whatever's out there, it's here. And people need to get to terms with it.
I don't want to.
I know.
I
can't believe we're in an era now where if you'd have took it back, I was going to say 100 years, took it back 20 years, 10 years, you are a Looney Tune. You're a tinfoil hat man if you believe in aliens.
We said this.
I think you're an idiot if you don't now. I really do.
If in my primary school, high school, whatever, you were someone who was actually believed in aliens, you were a loopy.
You were loopy.
You're actually a nutter.
Yeah.
But now it feels like if you're someone that's not targeted, you split it because you're agnostic. And you're convinced by the end of this. I'll show you some stuff.
And I'll get you that cream as well.
If you're someone who's absolutely against it, you think we're alone, then you're actually probably seen more as the loopy one because you're thinking, you think the whole
universe. But then you're in denial
because
you're a human being and like you don't want to admit it. And that's why I think it's fascinating when you come to religion and stuff, because I think there's all these same conspiracies that are now becoming not conspiracies. There's also what I think we've got to be very careful about is that it's pulling along other stories and validating other stories. I mean, you hear some mental stuff about like the Catholic Church's involvement in the knowing of UFOs, let's just say, or whatever.
Or potentially far more than that.
And like covering stuff up.
Yeah.
Because of the fear of like just
what it would get
masses, just not
1 billion people.
Yeah. So, and you got to think, and then I understand also that when you think of religious leaders and world leaders, that they wouldn't want to tell us that, because if everybody in the world who has a belief or a faith in the moment found out about aliens, I reckon the numbers of people that would suddenly not believe or would double down and call it all fake, I'd love to see those numbers.
Or both. Or both. I still believe in what I believe in, but aliens are about.
How many faiths have evolved their creation story since science has come out and stuff like that?
Right.
Loads of them.
Yeah.
But I feel like aliens has got to be a pretty set in stone conflict, let's say.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? Because like, if man's made in God's image, what's this little ET fella doing?
Very poetic.
You know what I mean?
I don't know who said it, but that quote that said, either we are alone in this universe or we're not, and both equally as terrifying.
Absolutely.
It's crazy because it's
such a that's well
it's
put,
a gorgeous quote, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you think about it, if it's the biggest coincidence ever, and everything is, I really like the scale of universe that Neil deGrasse Tyson said, where he said that if you imagine each grain of sand, there we go.
That's crazy.
Arthur C. Clarke. Each grain of sand on every single beach on Earth there are more stars. And then if each grain of sand was a solar system with each had billions of stars, that's how infinitely vast it is.
Yeah.
And you think the universe is right where you stay in.
Yeah.
And nowhere else. I think it's kind of crazy.
I'm really frustrated because I was trying to remember some incredible statistics for this, because we've been wanting to do this
for aliens,
2 or 3 weeks. But it was more about so like the speed of light.
Yeah.
So it was I can't remember if this is going to really do it. Can you Google it for me?
It's about the speed of light and the dimension of the pyramids being the exact same.
No. That one's mental.
That is mental.
But how fast, how many times around the Earth light can travel in 1 light year? Or in a second, sorry.
It's 8 times in 1 second.
I thought it was 7, so that makes sense. So 7 times in a second.
Yeah.
So a light year is obviously how much light can travel in a year.
Right.
So the observable universe from, if you stood in Australia or you stood in the UK.
Yeah.
So obviously if they look outwards, they're looking at the opposite side of the universe to we are.
Right.
But the observable universe, we are now capable of seeing 13.8, I think it was, billion light years away. So then if you times that by 2, because if we're looking up and looking down, for example, let's say it's like 28, let's just say 28 billion. They still think that's less than 10% of the known universe.
Oh, I don't think it's even close. I think it's far even bigger than that.
There you go, 7.5.
7.5. We were both right.
There you go.
I said 8, you said 7.
But this is it's why it's inconceivable for us. Yeah. I mean, this is what Lewis was talking about as well, and you'll like this, but this is one thing that really really flipped stuff for me, because we're talking about the fact that obviously everybody involved in this stuff now that's in government positions, even they turn their nose up at talking about aliens or whatever, because they're thinking bacteria on the moon is an alien.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anything's an alien to us.
Yeah.
We're an alien to something else, whatever. Yeah. But they were talking about the fact that if you think about the fact that 100 years ago, we didn't even know that the dominant species, microorganisms, bacteria, we didn't know that the dominant species on this planet existed because we couldn't see them.
We're the dominant species on this planet.
No, we're not.
Yeah, of course we are.
No, we're not.
What do you mean? What you find
you've seen this episode.
Yeah, no, but I'm not agreeing with that though, because that doesn't make any sense.
The's more bacteria, there's more microorganisms.
More? Oh, you mean dominant as in
more of them? Just more of them. Sorry,
what Liam's thinking, if you throw in these microorganisms,
the thing is, we're in a 33 tier bracket, me versus who's winning?
Hey, it'd be more than 33 tiers though.
I'll take my chances against that.
Yeah. First rounded by bacteria.
Yes, straight to the semis. That's like drawing Dynamo Kiev in the group stage. But yeah, they're just mass-wise, there's more of them than there is, and we didn't know they existed until 100 years ago because we couldn't interact with them because we'd not put glass we'd not looked through glass in microscopes and all this stuff.
Big man, 100 years ago, we didn't know to wash our hands before operations.
Exactly.
They were going in dusty fingers into people's bodies.
No toilet paper either, just straight.
Yeah, let me just get your lung out for you, no issue. Let me just use this knife and fork I've just been eating my dinner with.
Wipe my arse with my middle finger.
The Hello Kitty switch.
Yeah, I mean, use my Hello Kitty. I didn't even know she put it out like that.
Hello Kitty switch.
You're going to have to move that when any of Lil's
Oh my God, that's such a good point.
Because they're going to think it's a toy knife and someone's going to get shivved.
Well, what makes you think it's a toy knife is the fact it's got Hello Kitty on it, Liam.
Exactly that. And it looks very blunt, but it's the exact opposite. It's very sharp.
It's very sharp. But anyway, yeah. So they were talking about so if you think what's kind of feasible for us to view above us in scale, the universe is too big for us to compute. Below us, I mean, ironically, when he was talking about below us and talking about microbacteria and stuff like that, I couldn't help but think about the quantum realm.
You say mycobacteria?
Micro. Oh my God, I'm lost now. I couldn't help but think about the quantum realm from Marvel just because it helped me.
It's a good example.
It helped me visualize it.
It's a good example.
Bacteria in the quantum realm are fucking huge, aren't they? But the point being, we can't, what's below us and what's above us, we can't interact with. So we exist in this tiny slither of reality that we think's real because it's what we can see, our 5 senses, our dimensions, blah, blah, blah. I mean, since this has all come out, I watched Interstellar. So obviously my brain's all over the room and I'm just fried now. Absolutely fried.
Yeah.
But so they were talking about the fact that, whatever these biological entities are, they may not be 2 arms and 2 legs and knocking around with a big head and big eyes, but it's freaky shit.
It is. And I think if you're if you're oh no, we can't get into a scale of the universe diagram for it because this conversation will get so much longer. Is a dodo that much bigger than a basketball?
Clip it up.
But anyway, the point is, I'm going to close this out shortly.
Yeah.
The point is, if you don't believe, come to me and I'll send you some reading materials. Yeah. But if not, I think a harder thing to fake is actual government documents. I don't know how you would lie about that.
Well, like
100 years of government-based documents that have been declassified, or a simple one. And I totally understand if you're someone who's seen videos of UFOs, you go, I can't believe it because AI. I'm 100% with it.
Yeah.
But you can't fake film photography.
The
and
old
there
stuff,
are an enormous amount. Like one I put on my Instagram slide last month. There are so many pictures taken on film. How on earth can you can't fake that? Do you know what I mean?
And to piggyback on that,
Splinter, I'm going to throw up if I see this scale of the universe and how Italy is bigger than
the scale of the universe
North America
on the screen, and it's knocking me sick. What did you just say?
About film photography. And
yes.
You cannot fake.
So to piggyback on that, then, what this Louise dude was saying was that whenever Joe Rogan's being like, okay, so that famous one that came out from like the 60s, like, what do you think of that? And Louise is like, we couldn't give a shit. Yeah. Because we've got that much.
Yeah.
We've got hundreds and thousands.
He's like, Roswell, that's light work.
Like, I'm not arsed. We've got 4K footage from military personnel. He said there's forms of monitoring, like monitoring technology that we've got that people don't know we have.
Yeah, of course.
So he said, I'm not allowed to talk about it, obviously. Yeah. He went, we've picked them up on that. It's beyond 4K. It's beyond like... We've got
phlegm samples.
Yeah, we've got them crystal clear. Yeah. Never mind, we've got them in the fucking garage, that they've already confirmed. Yeah. So he's like, I don't care about your granny's like flip phone Motorola tic-tac video from the garden in Gorton. I don't care. Yeah. And when Joe Rogan's like, well, what happened in Roswell? He's like, well, we don't care because we work in national security. I don't need to worry about Roswell now because it didn't happen.
And what's happened?
So, whatever happened, he said, if something was going to go tits up, it didn't, so I don't need to worry about it. Stuff that's coming out now I need to worry about because it can go tits up. Yeah. He's like, so we are too busy worrying about what can happen now than dissecting what happened 50 years ago.
Yeah, long time. I get it. It's
this tinfoil hat isn't going to protect me from them, Liam.
No, it's not.
Do you not find I'm so torn between being like, feeling that they're on our side because if they wanted to fuck with us, they'd have done it by now.
They would have done it by now.
And then also feeling like they're definitely like secretly like just...
But I think it's like anything. There'll be good ones, there'll be bad ones.
Do you know what I mean?
There'll be good ones, there'll be bad ones.
Yeah.
Splinter, you look perplexed. What are you seeing?
Nah, I don't even want to bring it up.
Bring it up. Unless it's something really big, because I was about to close it out right now and it's going to have to wait.
No, it's just the last time I was on the scale of the universe.
Oh, you're still on scale of the universe.
Yeah, because like it's gonna make you feel so. But it's just the fact that after all of what they have here, it just goes to this at the end. Like,
that's horrible. That's horrible.
Yeah, don't. If you want to see what Splinter's looking at, just go on. What's the web address?
It's literally just scale of
the universe, and it'll just do a little drag and drop for it.
So I've never really clarified it, but as an atheist, I will say I find it freeing to think of us as insignificant as this, because it puts my tiny little problems into perspective. Do you know what I mean?
It puts your tiny little problems into perspective at all. It does, because you're
floating around on a rock.
What am I worried about this and that for when I mean nothing?
So, Your Majesty's HMRC. I ain't paying my taxes. Can't be arsed now. I'm just a man floating around on a rock. I'm gonna minimise.
What's your ITV now then? Because
you're already fine. Come for me, because in the next 10 years, I'm either going to be busy mates with ET, or he's going to have digested my organs and
or he's going to be delivering you Deliveroo.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got to take it off the screen because Liam can't not look.
I can't tell you how
really
much it's throwing me off.
Because
I've just seen the cosmos.
I'm closing it out now because this is driving me crazy.
Next to me.
Thank you for tuning into another episode of the Feel Weird podcast with the full crew.
We just have to throw
Let us know wherever you're watching this in the comments. Do you believe? Do you not believe? What are your thoughts?
Talk about it.
Have you been wearing your tinfoil hat while you've been listening?
Yeah. And who's going to win the Grammys?
And who's going to win the Grammys?
Talking about insignificance. Who's going to win best pop record in the Grammys or whatever?
The comments are going to be, Grammys, talking about Tyler, and then the fact that everyone wants a Feel Weird tinfoil hat to help them.
Feel Weird tinfoil hats.
Merch opportunity right there.
It's the only thing we haven't got at this point. Yeah, we're doing Feel Weird knives next.
Yeah. When this technically Cults and Conspiracies episode 3 blows up and makes us famous as hell, we're going to be selling these.
Yep.
Or they're going to do the absolute opposite and make sure none of it comes out.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened last time. Loads of our videos got nerfed, didn't they?
TikTok doesn't like the truth.
Yeah.
No, this will make it. I hope
Actually, we're not allowed to talk about Palestine.
That's a really good point. Okay, thank you very much. Over and out. See you next time.
Yeah. Oh, and hopefully there's not another Kendrick Lamar album out by the time we next see you. And hopefully we've not made friends with aliens. So anyway, yeah. Thank you. Good night.
Bye-bye.